Well, hello there, mechanical keyboard friends. In this video, we're going over a new low-profile keyboard from Lofree. Lofree? Coffee? I don't know. This is the Flow Lite, brand new offering, and I'm going to unbox it. I'll give you a sound test, and then I'll give you my honest review. So let's check out this beautiful looking Flow profile keyboard. Am I light? Okay, it's the unboxing first. I took everything out of the box, and here's what you get. Keyboard, which we'll look at last, obviously. It did come with a cable. What do they call this? Like an L-shape cable? I approve, whatever it is. Manuals, I presume, in a little carrying pouch. Is that a sticker? Not sure, it doesn't actually, I don't know, maybe that's a sticker, maybe not. Another piece of paper, which I will not look at, and the instruction manual, which I will also not look at. Okay, that's it for the unboxing and the keyboard. I will say that there are a bunch of other accessories available separately. I read there, at the time of this recording, they're doing a Kickstarter campaign. They sent me an extra box of switches in the Shadow series, collab with KL switches, from what I understand. These are silent linears, and I'm assuming these are gonna be the new Specter switches, which are also linear. Pretty heavy. If I don't have the specs right in front of me, but I think they were going to be linear switches. So I'm assuming that's the Specter switch. I really don't know, but there you go. Definitely linear. So here's what I know about this keyboard. This is a better price point, or not a better price point. This is a lower price point than Lofree's other offerings, the old Flow keyboard, low profile. This one's plastic. The other one was aluminum. This is not my official review, but so far I will say that it actually feels like a really good plastic. It's slightly textured. You won't be able to see it very much, mainly because of the color. But I like that it's slightly textured and it feels not cheap. I don't like it when plastic keyboards just feel really cheap. This doesn't. I like the curved edges. I like the design. It is lightweight because it's a small, low-profile keyboard and it's plastic, but it's not too light, I think. By the way, I feel like I'm pretty well versed in low profile keyboards at this point. This is a medium profile keyboard. They call it low profile because it is lower, for sure, than most traditional mechanical keyboards. But it's not ultra thin. It's not ultra low profile. You'll see some of the Keychron low profiles are like really, really, really low profile. Throw it in your bag, throw it on top of your laptop and work. This one's light enough where I do think you could put it in a bag. But it's also 75% layout, has the function row right here, has the arrow keys and such. It's a little bit bigger than like your typical travel keyboard, I would say. But it's still pretty small. Small footprint on your desk, especially if you're just leaving it on your desk. I think this is a great size. Also, they have the volume wheel, which I really like this color combo, by the way, like the light pink and then the gold or bronze or whatever. I think that looks really cool. They also have feet, the old Flow keyboards did not, I believe. And they're also really, really like rubbery feet. Very rubbery, or like silicone something. I actually kind of like that. You won't hurt yourself either. It's like it's kind of spongy material right there. Probably helps with the sound, I'm guessing. I don't know. And the wireless, the connectivity options, I think have improved. This one has a dongle, the other one didn't. It also has faster 5.4 Bluetooth support, I think. Is that correct? It has the faster Bluetooth. If you need that. It's also wired, of course. It has a faster polling rate. Don't think really anyone would notice the difference for the most part, but it has a 1000 hertz polling rate compared to, I think, 500 for the other one. I think that's about it. So I guess I could stop talking about it, and let's give it a sound test with these Specter switches. The Flow Lite, how did they do? Pete's review, been typing on it a while. I will give you my 60-second bottom line summary first, and then I'll follow it up with some details, some pros and cons, and that sort of stuff. So, 60-second bottom line. This is super easy for me. This is an easy recommendation. I just enjoyed typing on it. I will admit, my expectations probably started a little bit lower just because it's more budget, right? It's more budget friendly. It's a cheaper keyboard by cost. I thought it was going to feel cheaper or sound cheaper, and it does have a plastic frame. It is very lightweight and a tiny bit bendy, but honestly, it still feels good. Keycaps feel good. The switches are really good, which I'll talk about in just a second. The build quality actually still seems like solid, despite the fact that it is like plastic and whatever. It doesn't feel cheap to me. It actually feels really good. This is a really easy recommendation. It is. Now, that said, let's go into the details. I do have some cons, which I will share with you before you buy this keyboard. Let's start with build quality. I don't have a lot to say about this. It's cheaper materials because it's a budget-ish keyboard. It is lightweight. You can literally like bend it a little bit, but it's well constructed. I like the plastic. It's put together well everywhere. It's slightly textured. It feels good. Like literally when you touch it and you hold it, the rounded edges, everything feels good on this keyboard. The feet are attached well. The silicone, I don't know if it's actually silicone, whatever that is, rubber, silicone, something like that. These are slightly spongy, makes it feel better. This volume knob works perfectly. It's just well constructed. It may be a budget keyboard for sure, but I approve. This gets an easy recommendation for build quality. Okay, that's boring. My favorite part about this keyboard so far are these. So I've tried a number of silent switches. I think my number one silent switch is still the, oh my gosh, Deep Sea Ocean, Deep Sea Blue from the KL. I have a video about it somewhere. I think those are still my favorite silent switch. These are a close second, really close second. I put these in and have been very pleased with, well, first of all, they're silent, but they feel good. They actually feel like a joy to type on, and you can't say that about many other silent switches, in my opinion. So if you're into silent switches and you want a silent keyboard, these are worth the extra money, for sure. Easily. Hades. Really great switches. The other ones, oh, by the way, all of these, I think both the Hades and the non-silent linear switches in the Shadow series, they feel thicker, I think, than they actually are. I think they're probably trying to compensate somehow because they are low profile keycaps, low profile like keyboard. You don't want them to be too light because they would just kind of feel like nothing's there. So I think they made them a little bit heavier, thicker on purpose, or that's what they went with on purpose. And I think they did a good job. I think it feels appropriate. I won't say it feels like fantastic, but it doesn't feel bad at all. It doesn't feel like a cheap keyboard either. Yeah. Oh, I still got some of the other linears in here. Yeah, right there. A little bit more creamy, a little bit more poppy sound, but I think it's pretty balanced. I think it's right in the middle. It's not super high end, it's not super low. It's right in the middle, I think. They did a good job with that. I have nothing to complain about. I think these switches are good. I think the Hades switches are great. Of course, you have to want silent switches, but alas. Oh, I don't know if I actually mentioned this. Maybe I shot some B-roll, I don't remember. But they actually do include a switch puller, and it's actually a really nice one. It's the same like pink and gold on the keyboard, like it matches and stuff. Or no, it's maybe white. I don't know, it looks good either way. It's very premium. It worked fine. I have like two cons with this keyboard. Number one, the switches were kind of a pain to get out. These seem like it should be the other way, but it's not. Take these off the way you take off normal switches, even though it doesn't feel right. That's my one tip. You look at them and you'd be like, oh, well, actually you need to do this one. These east to west, where I normally do them north to south. I think that's the way it normally is. And you're gonna wanna do it this way. Don't do that. It's very hard, which doesn't make any sense because when you look at the switch, it's east to west is what it should be. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but you'll get them off if you're switching switches. If you're swapping switches, it's not really that big of a con. The keycaps, I think, are my other con. They look great when you look at it like this. And if I turn it on, you will see the light shining through. There you go. There's no blinking. This is my camera. Obviously, I don't actually know how to prevent that. It looks like a solid color. It's not flashing or blinking or whatever in real life. Just letting you know. But that said, the keycaps are kind of fuzzy looking. You know what I mean? Like they're not super crisp and sharp, shine through, just a little fuzzy. That's not really that big of a con to me. In fact, maybe I would leave it on just because they are shine through. But other than that, they're just a little fuzzy. That's it. That's honest to goodness all I can really think of as a con for this keyboard. The price is right. It's built fine. Oh, you know what? One more con. It's not actually low profile, right? It's lower than some of the other, like if I grab this guy over here. Of course, it is lower than some of these big old keyboards for sure, right? There's not even close. Or maybe it's a little close. But it's not like low profile. It's like medium low. Medium low. I feel like that's 90% of the low profile keyboards are actually just medium low. And then a few of them are like razor thin. And you're like, oh, that's a low profile keyboard. There you go. Just so you know. It's lower than the other ones, but it's not super low. It's not really much of a con, is it? I like this keyboard. I have to recommend it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have this, if you're going to order on Kickstarter, this gets an easy recommendation at like 80 bucks or whatever it is. This is a good keyboard for that. Especially if you like silent switches. Go with the Hades. They're worth the extra cost, if it costs extra, indeed. Yeah, 100%. Good job, Lofree. I approve. All right, see you guys in the comments section, YouTubers. Adios.